you brought Lady Diana up, can we talk a bit about her?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I've no doubt that she was murdered in Paris. I mean,
were you on the inquiry? I thought I read that you gave some evidence.
I did give some evidence,
Yeah.
but obviously I wasn't giving specific evidence. I was just giving evidence about the background of MI6.
Was it about the the thing I read? I think it said about the strobe light.
Not really. No, I didn't really give evidence about that as such. I mean, I did comment on some of the stuff. To put the Diana thing in context, I blew the whistle for a week. I was in the headlines, and Princess Diana was in the headlines because she was on a yacht with Dodie. On the Saturday, they took out an injunction against me and banned me. Now, this was part of my plan. People would think, well, why did I get to ban you? Because I knew it would go around the bloody world, basically. There's no news on a Saturday. People around the world are fascinated by MI5 and MI6. And that's what was going to happen. On the Saturday night, I went to bed, thought, this is bloody game over. The whole story's going to go around the planet. We're going to get stuff out there. We're going to change the secret state in Britain. Next morning, I got up, found out, watching a documentary about Princess Diana at 8 o'clock in the morning. I thought, fuck's this doing on? And suddenly at the end of it, La Princesse Diana est morte aujourd'hui. Oh my God, Princess Diana's dying. Now, I'm not saying they bumped off Princess Diana and knocked us out the headlines. But if you've got a plan to bump off Princess Diana, which they clearly did, this was the optimum time to do it, to knock us out the headlines, basically. So I think they killed two birds with one stone. And anybody who finds that egotistical doesn't understand how these people work. They really don't. I do. People who say, well, that's just egotistical, don't understand it. They really don't. They have no experience, and therefore opinions are wholly invalid in this area.
What makes you think she was definitely killed?
Well, to start with, the delaying in the proper investigation, why we have to wait so long to get an inquest, these are reasonable grounds of suspicion. The fact that ultimately when the inquest did report back, the paparazzi were accounted for, the white Fiat Uno was not. It wasn't driven by a paparazzo, neither were the motorbikes that went into the tunnel. So that, and the fact that that isn't resolved is not a clear bill of health for it. That's enormously suspicious. You know,
I think it's suspicious it happened in a tunnel as well.
Well, exactly. Yeah, of course, yeah. But the fact that these people can't be accounted for, I mean, John Stevens, who did the inquiry, seemed to think that gave it a clean bill of health. That doesn't, in my mind. You know, if those people can't be accounted for, that raises reasonable suspicions of a conspiracy. Of course it does. And the fact that James Anderson, this guy who owned the White Fiat, is then found dead, 400 kilometres where he should be. He's supposed to have committed suicide by shooting himself twice in a car, then burning himself out. Again, any reasonable man is going to become the conclusion this man did not commit suicide and was actually suicided by the intelligence services or somebody else. And the question remains who. I don't think it was Prince Philip and the royal family. I really don't. They were frustrated with her, but I don't think they orchestrated their death. I think it's much more likely to be Mossad, because what Alfred was doing was he was going to persuade Diana to go to Palestine. Now, the Israelis have always treated the Palestinians like subhumans, basically. And this would, of course, the world media went wherever Diana went. There's no way Israel would be able to get away with that stuff in future if she'd gone there. So that's why they bumped her off. So I believe it was Mossad.
It's not about landmines, her work with landmines, or the
clearly,
possibility she had a child, people have said.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's part of it as well, yeah. Because, again, that's not to do with the actual British royal family. That's to do with the Zionist view. If you look at the protocols, they are the Zionist bloodline of the protocols. Now, just to be clear on tape on the protocols, we're talking about documents that people have claimed are forgeries. To me, it's irrelevant whether it's a forgery or not. But they envisage their Zionist king on the throne of the United States of Europe, and they want the British royal family to be those Zionist kings. So again, the reason that Mossad would do this, if she had a Muslim, and she was clearly pregnant, there's no doubt about it, she was clearly pregnant with Dodi Al-Fayed's child, therefore, the future Zionist kings would have a Muslim half-brother, and a mother who was influenced by the Islamic world. There's no way the Zionists can allow that to happen. So again, that was the reason why she was killed. She was pregnant, basically. And again, people will say there's no proof of that, but we've got something suspicious, because when procedure is not followed, we're entitled to be suspicious. Again, these are reasonable grounds of suspicion. And those reasonable grounds of suspicion are raised by the fact that the body was embalmed before it left Paris, contrary to French law and contrary to English law. And therefore, there was no test to be done to decide whether she was pregnant one way or the other in England.
It sounds like someone tried to tip her off as well, because she said someone's going to try. They're trying to kill me in a car accident.
What they'll do is they'll try and scare you off. I mean, I've had this. They will try and scare you off. They'll get you so scared for your own life that you'll walk away. And you've got to make a decision in those circumstances about whether you carry on or not. Now, clearly, she did.